Okay, we'll just have to do it. Now you're coming on. Okay.
Okay, cool.
So the message that I got was Facebook, stop the video. I guess maybe it overloaded their bandwidth.
We have so many people watching and they couldn't handle it.
Yeah, so we're back again. I'm Dr. Sabrina Starling, the business psychologist. This is part 2 of self-care and strategy for entrepreneurs through the coronavirus event. I'm joined with my guest, John Bates, who was right in the middle of sharing some really wonderful tips about virtual presence. And just as you were saying that we need to be mindful of, our positioning on video, we were out of here.
So,
keep going.
That's the other thing. I mean, that is part of it. And one of the things that I think is really important to remember is that, especially if you're the leader or you're the speaker or whatever, if something goes wrong, if there's a technical issue and you get upset about it, everybody gets upset about it. But if you just roll with it and laugh, everybody rolls with it and laughs. So it's an easy way to just keep things calm and keep rolling on without letting it get to you. And then everybody else will be a lot happier too. So
absolutely. Yeah.
So we're back.
Yes.
So I was saying, think about your background, think about your lighting. Those are two things that are pretty easy to work with, and make sure that you show up. Nice to see you from the shoulders up instead of just the chest up as you're looking at your, laptop camera. Get it all situated and think about the lighting, think about the angle of the video. And then the thing that's the most important, if this goes on for as long as I think it might, and you want to up your executive presence and your leadership presence, the first investment is a microphone. Get a nice microphone. Blue makes a thing called a Snowball. It's $50. Rode makes them, Shure makes them, but get a USB microphone and hold it, have it be close to your mouth when you're talking. What else can work that's an easy thing is, even if you just put in earphones with a mic that's right by your mouth, just getting that little mic that much closer to your mouth than your computer or your laptop will also make a big difference.
Yeah. So a couple of things about that for women. We have to be very carefully of our dangly earrings and our jewelry and scarves, anything that's going to brush that microphone, because then there's all the scratching that goes on, which, that's a good option if you have nothing else available. The other thing that I want to say is when you're on video, I like to stand up. It gives a higher level of energy. And so, but I can't do that for some of us are doing meetings 8 hours a day now on Zoom. I can't stand 8 hours a day. So I'm very intentional about when I choose to stand for which meetings, when presence is really important, like a Facebook Live with John Bates. So so I'm standing for this meeting. And the other thing about this, you said, if this goes on, then your best investment is going to be a microphone. It is going to go on. Coronavirus will end. But what we're all doing unintentionally is we are creating infrastructure for now John's going to stand. We're creating.
I know good advice when I hear it.
I think I learned this from John Bates. We are unintentionally creating infrastructure for more virtual meetings to happen in our world. So I do anticipate, even after coronavirus ends, we will see companies doing a lot more virtual meetings. And especially at Tap the Potential, we have a lot of contractors and landscapers who traditionally don't do virtual meetings. They're a little more old-fashioned, old school, with face-to-face meetings in the office, but now they're putting the infrastructure in place to do virtual meetings. So I think, look at this long term, and it's an asset that you're building in your company to be able to do virtual meetings, and people don't have to be in the office. It saves a lot of money long term to be able to do that.
And as I said in the part 1 of this broadcast, in China, they're seeing that already. People want more virtual, more distributed working options because they got used to this and they liked it. And they're also seeing dramatic increases in productivity out of that, So, as much as this is a horrible tragedy, I think one of the things that's incumbent on us as leaders to do is to look for the silver lining in what is clearly a tragedy, and to keep people present to the fact that we can make lemons out of lemonade, which doesn't mean that things aren't awful for a lot of people, but it means that anybody that can turn some lemons into lemonade is just adding even more value right now.
I think so, for sure. Any other tips that you want to share with us, John?
Well, let's see. So your virtual presence is that is now your leadership presence, and this is how it's going. Now, the other thing that I think is really interesting is that as we go, I'm going to call it distributed, as we go with a more distributed approach to work and things like that. I used to work in a massively multiplayer online virtual world game company. And one of the things that I saw there, and I love the work of Jane McGonigal around this. I'm a student of hers on some level and really think she's done a lot of great work around this, which I'm going to be bringing to the things I'm doing. But that environment of, so here's everybody in a massively multiplayer online virtual world game like World of Warcraft. And there are teams that go out and accomplish these things that take a lot of time and a lot of coordination and a lot of brains and a lot of effort. And the people who organize those teams are fabulous distributed leaders. And, there are a number of things that happen in that game world that you can bring to your work world. Like one thing is people just enjoy it more and do better when they're working with people they care about. Mm-hmm. So what can you do in these virtual settings to amplify how connected and how much people care about each other, and to get your team to see this as a team effort and be part of a team? That makes a huge difference. People don't want to let down people that they know and they like and they care about. Yeah. And, I think sometimes people aren't quite fully present to just how much they know and like and care about their colleagues until something like this happens. And as a leader, you can reinforce that in various ways. And then, the other thing is that people really, really benefit from, and it means very much to them, to get acknowledgement. And listen, on a team that's working really hard, everybody can get a prize. Maybe they won't all get the same prize, but if you acknowledge people for what they're doing, mm-hmm. and you acknowledge them in front of the group so that they get the social accolades and the meaningfulness that comes along with that, that's another thing that goes on in these virtual worlds with these teams that are very successful. And there are a number of other pieces to that puzzle. But what I think is almost funny to say, maybe threatening a little bit, but funny, is that in those massively multiplayer online virtual world games, I'm just call them MMOs from now on. Okay. Everybody's basically a volunteer. In fact, they're paying to be in the game. So to be on this team, they're not getting paid to be on the team that's going to go take on this big new challenge in the game. So the leaders get that they have people that are doing this of their own free will. Mm-hmm. Now, look, your people are at home. You can't watch them 24/7. And it doesn't work to try to do that. There's lots of companies that have tried to do that. Fundamentally doesn't work. And that autonomy is what people are falling in love with in China. They don't want to give that autonomy up yet. Yeah. They don't want to give it up at all. And so if you can give people autonomy and empower them and get them to see that they're dependent on each other and feel that they are contributing to the team and be acknowledged for that, they will use that autonomy to do good work versus using that autonomy to freaking watch Netflix all day.
Yes. Yeah. So I want to jump in here and offer some real concrete examples of how we do this within Tap the Potential, because we are all virtual, have been for years, yeah. And how we support our clients in doing this in their businesses as well. So within Tap the Potential, we have individual goals, every single one of us. We have our team goals, our business goals for the quarter, and then each of us has individual goals. And so every time we have a one-to-one meeting and we do one-to-ones every week with our team, one of the first things I'm asking in those one-to-ones are, what are your wins and successes? And I want to know personal wins and successes as well as in relation to the goals that have been established for the quarter. And so I'm hearing those wins and successes in the one-to-ones, and I am very mindful of which ones I'm bringing out to the team, because The team needs to know what everyone else is doing that is furthering our team goal. And I'm also very aware, we have Slack. We use that for communication.
Yeah.
There are things that get shared with me in Slack that are wins and successes that the rest of the team wouldn't know about, simply because the individual is like, I don't want to brag about that. That's too whatever. And so I look for, when is it appropriate to share some of those wins and successes with the team? I consider that my role as leader of the company. And I carry around, it's mostly a mental notebook, but I have done a physical written notebook in the past. What are the wins and successes that we need to bring out and shout people out on? And you can do it in a daily huddle. It can be in a Slack channel, or in a weekly team meeting, but look for those opportunities to do that. And so many of our clients at Tap the Potential do these things with their teams, and it has a huge impact on motivation and morale. It's really important during a stressful time like what we're under right now.
Yes. Always important, but even more now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So John, I'm aware of our time here. I want to give you the opportunity to talk about the webinars that you've been doing, as well as the course that you have coming up right now that's starting, that's going to support leaders and entrepreneurs on their virtual presence. So can you tell us about those?
Absolutely. So there are two pieces to this. One is what I'm now calling, after I got off the phone with the Commodore of Navy Explosive Ordnance Disposal Group 1 Special Operations. I'm now calling these meetings synchronization meetings. He's like, yeah, John, it's like synchronizing your watches. We do that all the time. We want to make sure everybody is on the same page so that we can all be going forward together. And so I've been doing free synchronization meetings. I'm going to keep doing them until nobody comes or we're through this whole thing. And they're fabulous. You've been on one of those, I think, Dr. Sabrina.
Yes.
And so I'm getting a group of people together twice a week. I do a 30-minute and then an hour. And we just hear from people, what's going on with you? What are you doing? Just to get all synchronized and see what's going on. And typically there are people from all over the United States and all over the world, depending on when the time is and what the time zones are. So those are fabulous meetings. And I would love to invite anybody to come to those. And I think you've got the link to that.
I just posted it in the chat.
And there's only one more date there, but know that I will be putting in new dates for next week ASAP. And there will be 2 of these a week ongoing till we're through this. And it's a really fabulous way to come find out what's going on in other parts of the world, get a little bit of an insight from different places and different people. And they turn out to be really valuable, and they'll be free, and I'm doing them ongoing.
So I want to say the one that I attended, what I really loved about it is exactly what you were saying, because I'm talking to entrepreneurs all over the country and all over the world. These weren't just entrepreneurs. These were leaders in large corporations as well as entrepreneurs, and multiple countries, multiple industries. I mean, talk about just expanding our minds and awareness of what's going on. Very, very valuable time. So I highly encourage people to tap into some of these.
Thank you. Yes. And they are super. Like I'm really, really grateful that the people that show up, and we get a lot out of it. And this has made me realize that there is a lot of support that leaders can use right now. And I think up until about 5 minutes ago, leaders were so in the thick of things that they just didn't want to think about anything but was right in front of their face. I think this is going to go on longer than any of us wants. And I think we need to be prepared for that. And I think it's a really important time to be getting some support and letting someone be with you through this and give you best practices from all over the world that I'm seeing, and bringing everything that I've learned over my lifetime of being involved in the internet and doing virtual distributed work and running distributed teams. So that's what that course is going to be about. And I've got partial scholarships. I've got full scholarships. If you feel like you need the support, but you can't afford it, that's not going to be an issue. If you can support it, this is going to be a great way for you to assist me to keep doing the work that I'm doing. And, no one's going to be turned away for lack of being able to afford it. And I'm going to bring everything from lessons from the MMO world, the online virtual world, things from distributed, companies that are distributed, like my brother's company, that are very successful at it. A lot of the things that they do, tips, tricks, techniques. And then we're also going to be looking at authentic, vulnerable, meaningful leadership and what it looks like. And there will be support for each other. And then twice a week, I'll also be doing free bonus question answers where I'm going to ask people like you, Dr. Sabrina, to come in, and that'll be a free for all. We'll talk about anything, and all of it will be recorded for all the participants and available to the participants after. So
that is phenomenal. So I would highly encourage you, if you have not been accustomed to leading virtually, or if you have been leading virtually and you're ready to up your game, this is a phenomenal opportunity, because this is what we're going to be doing for months and into the future, I believe, after this. And so now is the time to build your skills as a virtual leader. And one of the things that you touched on that I'm really excited about is the gamification, and how to engage people virtually using gamification. That is some powerful stuff. We've experimented with it in our online courses at Tap the Potential, and I was blown away with a little bit. I mean, we introduced a teeny tiny bit of gamification into one course we did in the fall, and the participation was beyond anything I had ever experienced in any online course I've taken part in or delivered. So I'm thinking, wow, if we add more of that, what's possible there?
Yeah. And it's not just about getting points and having a leaderboard and things like, there's much more to it. And one of the great examples, do you remember back when LinkedIn was just another one of those places you could put your resume? Yeah. And it wasn't the thing. They put up on everybody's LinkedIn screen, your profile is 80% complete. Yeah. Do you know how fast everybody got their profile 100% complete? And do you know why LinkedIn is LinkedIn now and all those other ones we can't even remember? It's a gamification technique.
Wow. We just wanted to know how far we were and what the goal is, and we wanted to complete it.
Yeah, I drove everybody crazy to see that their profile was only 80% complete. Do you know if you put bowls of M&Ms out that are mixed, and then you put a few yellow ones in one bowl, a few green ones, a few brown ones, by the end of the night, people will have moved the M&Ms in the bowls so that they're all sorted? Like, we're compulsive, but we can use it.
That's it. That's it. We need to tap into our human neurobiology, how we're wired, and use it to our advantage to engage. That is great, John. All right. So I posted the link to your online course. One last thing before we go out, I want to share, and you made the comment about, as leaders, we kind of have been hunkered down the last couple of weeks, kind of dealing with what's right in front of us. And so I want to share this graphic that I have been talking about every chance I get. Let me see if I can get it in the right position on the screen. Hang on. Okay, we'll do it this way. Right. All right. So maybe let me hide us a minute, and let's put this front and center. Okay. So now, eighth time is the charm. Okay. So all right. So what we've got here is, this is the current moment in time that we're dealing with. And we want to think about what our vision is for how we want to be December 2021, 2 years essentially from now, a little bit less than 2 years. How do we want to be? What do we want to be experiencing? Not so much what do we want to have, but what do we want our lives to be like? What do we want our businesses to be like? And what experiences do we want to have? And how do we want to impact others? And how do we want our teams and their families to be impacted? We need to have that really fleshed out. And if you haven't given thought to that, I would highly encourage you to sit down and spend some time with that in a focused way and get that in front of you. Because what we're faced with right now is we need to make choices in the now that are full focus, that align with our vision of where we want to head, versus survival reactions like, I just need to do something to get some money coming in right now. And that choice may look like on the surface that it is somewhat aligned with our vision, but when we project it out into the future, what it actually does is it starts close to the goal, but over time it misses the mark in a big way. So one of the things we have been doing intentionally at Tap the Potential is offering strategy sessions for those of you in the Tap the Potential community who are not our current clients. Our current clients have access to us for laser coaching, no additional charge. Our past clients are able to access our Tap the Potential team for laser coaching for this type of work, no charge. So know that if that's you, reach out to us. We will do a laser coaching session with you around this concept so that you can make good choices, because we really want to be supporting entrepreneurs right now in making the good choices that will get you through the moment and keep you on track through your vision. So we have created an entire Q storming protocol. Q storming is asking powerful questions that surface much better thinking than crisis oriented tunnel vision thinking. That is what we are using in these strategy sessions. So if you want to access that, sign up to have a strategy session with us at tapthepotential.com/strategy. If you are a current or past client, we do not charge for that. If you are new to us and you've never been a client at Tap the Potential, there is a charge for it. We have made it super minimal to make it easy for people to move forward who need this support right now. So I want to get John back on camera here. Okay.
Do it.
Thank you.
Really, really good. You know, it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame, and Dr. Sabrina not only is not in your frame, she can see it from outside the frame, but she also has years and years of deep, broad experience with this. So that is, you know, now is the time to look for that kind of support. You know, it's tough to sometimes admit it or be okay with asking for help. Just let someone support you.
Absolutely.
And I'm doing that all over the place. I'm letting people support me, you know.
I want to speak to the years of experience component of what you just said. So I have been coaching entrepreneurs for 15 years now. So I've seen some boom and bust. I've been in Wyoming and I have supported entrepreneurs there through some major bust years. And I know what it takes for a business to survive a bust and come out and be stronger. And one of the things I want to give a huge shout out to so many of our businesses within the Tap the Potential family. It has been heartwarming for me past 2 weeks to connect with those and see that the majority of them are in a very strong cash position because they've implemented things like Profit First, and they have had their focus with us on designing a sustainably profitable business that supports their lifestyle. They've focused on creating great places to work. So they have the leadership skills to step forward and lead with love because they've been doing it this whole time. So it just makes me feel so good to see the good position that they are in because of the groundwork that has been laid. And it doesn't mean if you're coming into this and you haven't done that groundwork that you can't get through it and come out stronger. But when you said years of experience, I want to be super clear with those listening. That's what I've coached people through. And the bust and how to survive a bust and when you're in the middle of it, as well as the foundation that you need to lay so that you can thrive at all times in all circumstances, because that's really what we are about at Tap the Potential, is creating these sustainably profitable businesses that support our lifestyle. So thank you for that, you know, kind of teeing that up, because I needed to get that out there. John, go ahead.
I do need to go, but I just want to acknowledge that I've been on some of those calls and I know some of those companies. In fact, I know a bunch of them, and the ability that they have to be great contributions in their community and to their employees and to their clients because of the stuff that they've prepared for and the work they've done with you is truly, truly inspiring. Just like you said, I fully agree.
Yeah. So as we go out, John, we are going to do our rally cry, which is lead with love, shine bright, be a gift. I'm going to count us down and you do it with me.
Okay. All right.
3, 2, 1. Lead with
love. Shine bright, be a gift. Yes.
Thank you, John. Bye, everyone.
Right. Great to see you, Dr. Sabrina. Thank you very much. All the best, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.